This episode is brought to you by William Hill's Final One Standing. It's free to play, it's the ultimate elimination game. How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Forever Arsenal podcast. Bright and early Sunday morning. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed. Do all of that good stuff, people. Individual channels, you already know what it is. So make sure you support. All of us are doing content individually as well as here on the Forever Arsenal podcast. 100k on the last pod. Love for the love as always. And big up Jordan, James, and Lee Judges in the building. How are we feeling, lads?
Great.
Good.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Nice. Well, on that, let's start with the most important stuff. William Hill's Final One Standing. Hopefully you put in your selection for game week 2 for a chance to win that 500k if you're still in with a shout. A couple of us have been knocked out. I say a couple of us, it ain't me.
Nah, I won't be putting in my selection for game day 3. Put it that way, like, you know.
This is why we were right to sell Granit Xhaka. He was never good enough for us. He had one good season, the absolute fraud. He had one good year, and then I believed, and then he went to Leverkusen and won everything, and now Sunderland are knocked out.
Oh, James, you out?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm out.
Oh!
And Pep's a fraud. Yeah, I'm saying it. Pep's a fraud.
He went Sunderland away at Burnley, and he went Man City.
Who'd you go, Jordan?
Arsenal.
Well, that was a good shout. And who'd you go, Turkish?
Arsenal. I think you lot just overcomplicated it for yourselves, really. Yeah. Well, actually,
it was the only banker.
Yeah.
It actually was.
Yeah,
this football club have broken my heart so many times. All I'll say is, if I'd gone for Arsenal, they wouldn't have won. So really,
that's how I feel, James. That's exactly.
Honestly, they wouldn't have won. I know how life works.
It's a stupid way of thinking, but I went the same way, James. Don't worry. Yeah. But this is why I'm not a lover of these games, because I just want Arsenal to win, and that's it, really. Like I don't want Man City to win, really, but I've gone for them because I want them to beat Spurs. Otherwise, I want them to lose every week. And because of that stupid rule and stupid tactic of mine, I'm out. So good luck, you two. That's all. I'm not bitter.
You don't sound it.
Can you guys jump back in like later on, or are you done for the season? Is that it?
Shut up, Jordan.
Nah,
you're out. You know what I mean? You're out.
We're done till it resets.
Ah,
yeah.
There's another game we can go into, which I'm going to
go into. I believe there are other games. I believe there are so you can sort of jump back in at the first bit again, but
yeah. If you started from game week 1, you're in with a chance to win 500k. If you started from game week 2, then the pot is 50k. So yeah, game week 3 coming up. We'll let you know on the next episode of Forever Arsenal. But as it stands, people, on William Hill's Final One Standing in collaboration with Forever Arsenal. 2 in, 2 out. Me and Jordan remain. We both picked Arsenal, so we go on to game week 3. So on the next preview for the Liverpool game, me and Jordan will be making our selections, and James and Lee will be wishing us good luck.
But can you do that before we come on, because I don't really want to be involved.
Nah, we've got to do it together as a team.
I'm not bitter. I say I'm not bitter or nothing like that.
No, you don't sound it. And as always, James,
gamble responsibly. UK and Ireland only. 18 plus.
Well said. With a lot of infusion. This has gone out.
So much.
I think Sunderland was a poor pick. I've got to say that, James.
Lee, it was a shambolic pick. I picked a newly promoted side to win away from home. I mean, it was a shocking
pick. I did think that at the time. I thought mine legs slapped.
Do you know when I knew I was in trouble, Lee? When I saw West Ham Chelsea the night before, and I went, West Ham, they're bad. And I realised maybe I was too appreciative of Sunderland's efforts. Because, that was... West Ham could be in real trouble, I actually rate Graham Potter. But,
Chelsea was a banker as well, wasn't it, really? I know hindsight's a wonderful thing, but Chelsea was a banker, wasn't it?
Yeah, when you look back,
yeah, it was. To be honest,
that could have been a draw. I mean, in hindsight, of course, they smashed them. West Ham are awful, but if that had been a draw, that wouldn't have been like the biggest shock. If they'd have scraped to draw West Ham, that wouldn't have been like a.
I think
it's because the players they've got. Like Paqueta scored that goal, and you're like, well, like that's what they got. They got that kind of quality in the team still a little bit, but defensively, just a bit of a mess.
Why don't we team up? So, I mean, me and Turkish are in. So, James, you go with him, and Lee, you come on the winning team. So we just,
I'm all right.
What advise?
No, listen, you're on your own.
Turkish, I'll be your Nicholas Yova, mate.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I need.
Yeah. I know you.
I need someone corner on my eye if I can dictate him what I should do. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. I'll tell you what. Every time you're about to make a prediction, I'll do this.
Just at the corner of my eye.
Go for Man United.
when I scored that,
and when you get it wrong, I'll do this.
You sit back down.
Fade to black.
That free kick yesterday, you know what I mean? A penny for his faults. He must be just going, that's another bonus or something. He was like, he was all chirpy as he walked back to his thing like that. I mean, his head nodding like this, you know what I mean? You know, unbelievable.
We do have to give praise to Nicholas Yova, but at the same time, Declan Rice's crosses are a cheat code.
Unbelievable.
James, he'll score 2 this year. He'll score 2 this year.
Or 2, or maybe 1.
He'll score 2 corners this year. I'm convinced this season he'll score 2 corners. They're too good. They're just too good, man. And I know half the job is you need players that have intent to want to go and attack the ball. That's half the beauty. You need guys that actually want to go and hit the ball. But when you've got someone whipping them in those dangerous areas consistently, I mean, there's a debate now about whether his corners are better than Beckham's. Like, I think they're that good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think they're that good. I think it's a conversation.
I heard Culture Cam said the same
Where
thing.
did you? Oh, is it?
Culture Cam said he never watched Beckham like regularly like that because he was too young, but this might be the best corner taker he's ever seen.
I think he's right. I think he might be right. I mean, but
he's talking more on consistency as well. And I kind of look. I never watched Beckham regularly like that, but there is something about the consistency. It's unbelievable. Always put on that same area in that same spot. And Arsenal, this is where Nicholas Yova probably does get credit. He set the team up with where he put Saliba, what he used to do with Ben White a few years ago. He set the team up in a way where the goalkeeper can't deal with it. He can't claim it. So you're basically saying, are your players bigger than our players? And more often than not, they're not going to be.
Yeah. It felt like one of those games at that point when we got that set piece and the previous 30 minutes that we all watched it. It just felt like we're going to score this. And then we're never going to beat the allegations.
Turkish. Look at the first goal. They don't even celebrate it. They're not even celebrating corners anymore. When they score from a corner. When they score from a corner, they're not even celebrating anymore. That's how much we expect to score from corners. They don't even react. They're just like, yeah, we scored it from a corner. It's a blessing and a curse because I think there were points last season we saw where, and we'll get into it in a little bit, but when you're not creating chances, which for large parts we wasn't, you kind of want that weapon. But then when you're not scoring from corners and you're not playing particularly well, it's like, okay, like, are we relying on the corners too much? Like, I don't want us to stop scoring from corners, but you don't want to become reliant on, okay, this is the only way we can score a goal. But yeah, the team are just so drilled and so expecting of scoring from them. I just noticed the first goal, look at it, they don't even react. They're just like, yeah, well done, Timber, back to the halfway line. It's not a big deal anymore, which I think is a good and a bad thing.
What a performance, though, from Timber. I mean, we're into the game now. And there's a lot to talk about, but go on, Jordan.
There's a lot to talk about, Turkish. Do you mind if I kick off with, before we get to the game, we chat about Eze? Can I just kick off on Eze chat? Do you mind? Because I've not been as excited in a long time, Turkish. I'm so gassed. Honestly, it's very rare that Arsenal get me this excited. I'm so excited about this Eze signing. I know we touched on it in the last pod. It wasn't confirmed. Now it's confirmed. you know, the and big up to Arsenal as well, because the way they brought him out, you know, I wasn't there. I think Lee, you were there. A couple of guys might have been there. Greeted the crowds. It was done so well, and I'm so happy about the signing. I can't remember another signing, guys, that I've been excited about, apart from maybe Mesut Ozil, and we saw how that ended. You know, a bag of dogs, you know what. But apart from Ozil, I can't think of another guy we've signed who I've genuinely been excited about. We've signed brilliant players before, but this for me feels like so much more than just a brilliant player. And people watching, listening to this, some will just say I'm talking my usual waffle and crap, and maybe I am, but others will know what I'm talking about. He feels like Arsenal. He feels like he feels like an Arsenal player, and it's hard to explain, but just the way he carries himself. There's the backstory, of course, about him being released by Arsenal, but I followed his career quite a lot, and everything about him just feels like an Arsenal player. I think Ian Wright also epitomized that. I think he was the first player that really epitomized Arsenal. It's not just about being a brilliant player. It's the personality, it's the character, it's the swag. Thierry Henry had that. You know, even for a little while, Lacazette and Aubameyang had that. There was some fun months when those two had that bit of swag that made Arsenal just not only a good team, well, we weren't good then, but we were a fun team. And when I look at Eberechi Eze, guys, I see a guy that he feels like London. He looks like a Londoner. He looks like Arsenal. He looks like North London. And the whole chess thing, don't underestimate how him being a chess champion will help him play football. I really believe that. I genuinely believe that the intelligence to play chess will massively help him on the football pitch. I loved his reaction when, I don't know if you saw it, when he came off the pitch yesterday. They started playing that song. I don't know who it's by, but the song came on, and he kind of looked up. He's obviously very religious. We know that he's big on his faith. And he kind of looked up. And I don't know what he was thinking, obviously, but it looked like he was saying, this was the plan. I was always meant to come back here. This was where I was meant to come back home. This was the place where I'm supposed to be. And I'm massively kind of surmising and speculating there, but it looked like he was saying, yeah, this was God's plan. I'm not religious, but this was God's plan to come back here in front of my people on a 3 p.m. kickoff on a Saturday in front of the Arsenal. I'm so happy. I mean, the fact he's a brilliant player and he'll do well for us, and the Ødegaard injury may actually be, in a really horrible way, a blessing in disguise. There's the football element of it. But I just wanted to make a point about him, the person. We've signed brilliant players before, but they don't feel like Arsenal. This is a guy that, for me, feels like Arsenal. And as a grown man, I don't get players' names on the back of my shirt. But he, apart from Saka, is the only player that I contemplated going to the shop on Monday morning and getting Eze on my back, because I'm so excited about this signing. I don't know how you guys feel about it. If I'm just talking absolute waffle, I probably am. But I'm really, I feel this signing more than I felt other signings. That's what I'm doing. I'm gassed. Shut up, Lee.
I'm not as excited as that, I guess.
No, I think
Lee, you're a prick. You're such a prick.
Moves like this, there's the context comes with it. You mentioned Ozil. The Ozil signing, not only was it a world-class player at a prime age, it felt like a new dawn. I remember it felt like the 6-7 years before that, selling Van Persie, letting Fabregas go, Nasri, Sanya, Clichy, all these players it felt like all those years of selling and being self-sustainable, you know, were over. It felt like we're going to enter. So that the Ozil signing came with that. Declan Rice also come with 100 million. Arsenal have never done this, but that's not an attacker. So, yeah, Eze's up there. I mean, Aubameyang's probably another one, but again, he come halfway through a season where we was never going to do anything come the end of it. But he was a star striker, but we lost Sanchez at the same time. So, yeah, I mean, the context of this signing is it feels like it's the... Listen, when we signed Gyökeres, a lot of people are running off with you've got the final piece, that, you spoke of the final piece, now you've got it, which was very disingenuous, because that whole final piece talk was 2024 summer. That's when we all felt like we needed that striker to get us over the line. By the next year, 2025, we needed a few players. So even after Gyökeres, we still felt quite incomplete. And even now, if I'd be greedy, I'd like a left winger. But Eze feels like Arsenal have done that one more required to show the ambition and get over that line for the first time in the Emirates era. So I think all of that combined with the player, the story, the way it happened with Tottenham, it's been perfect.
I think you're spot on, Turkish, because I think what does make this signing more special than Aubameyang, Rice, Ozil, not saying the better player, not saying the better signing, but what makes it a little bit more special is, as you said, that Arsenal going that one more that I didn't think they'd do. Now, I remember when we signed Ozil, vibes, immaculate. What a player. Like, probably the best player we've ever signed. If you know, as in like,
100%.
The best level player we've ever signed for. We've got him. And I remember going, we kind of needed a winger and a striker more. Like, I remember thinking that, as much as it was like, it was a bit of a weird one with Cazorla and Rosicky there and Wilshere and Ramsey. Anyway, then Aubameyang, like you said, we brought him in, but we've got Lacazette 4 months earlier. And again, there was other areas of the pitch that were quite pressing. Yeah. Declan Rice, we had Jorginho and Partey. So we kind of thought, well, I hope he's the box-to-box. Whereas Eze's come in and you know exactly what he fixes, and you know exactly what he's there to do, and you know exactly which areas of the pitch he's going to play in. And I have to say, I know we're going to get onto the negatives, which is the Saka and Ødegaard injuries. Of course, it's a perfect day if it's not for those injuries.
Yeah.
But I was watching at the end of the game thinking, I've lost count of who's on this pitch and who's played. Like, just, it was always so easy to keep track of the squad. And I was kind of going, okay, so Saka started the game, but Madueke went right wing and actually looked better there than on the left. And then Dowman came on and won a penalty and looked brilliant. On the left, we had Trossard, but we know we've just announced Eze, so he'll probably play there. And Marte didn't even get on the pitch. Gyökeres has just scored in the absence of a Havertz and a Jesus. Ødegaard's come off and Waneri's come on, and by the way, looked good, but we know Eze's just walked in the building too. And suddenly I'm going, depth! Depth! we have depth. This is so great. And this is why Madueke could be a sensible signing for this exact reason. And, you never wanted to come to this, but hey, he looked good when he went out there. And it's, like I said, there were negatives in the injuries yesterday, but the Eze announcement was a great way to start what ended up being obviously a very good game for Arsenal. But to round it off with us going, my God, like there's options there. And 15-year-old Max Dowman is one of them. We're in a much better place now for sure.
Yeah, Lee, been quiet so far, but you was there. A bit of up and down day. The highest of highs with Eze being announced, but the lowest of lows with Saka walking off, holding his hamstring. On top of that, Ødegaard previously coming off 5 goals. Gyökeres gets 2 of them. I mean, we can pick out some big positives, and there's that big negative, the dark cloud that hovers over it all now, considering we got the 3 points. We done what we needed to do against the newly promoted side, but at what cost?
Yeah, I have to say that, it is a bit of a downer losing. More so Saka, because I don't think Ødegaard will be long term. I think that Saka, minimum now, we won't be back till after the international break. And the thing is, he looked a little bit sharper yesterday. The fantastic goal he scored, by the way. Fantastic.
Saka special.
And you see that, and that that was the game changer of the game. I know we scored from the set piece, but if we be really honest, it was a fantastic atmosphere when we got there. We knew there was, everybody was saying it was going to happen about 5:20. So, and obviously with the new tunnel as well, that made the atmosphere so much better as well. That was unbelievable from Mikel. That was to do that. The place was buzzing, and when he come out, and I know it sounds silly, I know that little tunnel thing, but you can actually see when Eze was coming out, so there was the roar got bigger as it went up. Do you know what I'm saying? It was really
it's smart. It was, I mean, people have to just troll everything Arsenal do. Arteta wanted the tunnel gone for a reason, and it sounds silly, but it generates atmosphere.
But yesterday it changed. It changed it a little bit, because, and then when he's coming back in, you've got an extra a minute more of it. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that was quite. So I'll give him a bit of praise for that. And then the game started, and I don't know how you guys feel, but we were sitting there, nothing's changed. Same thing. All the play. Leeds done a couple of little good moves, and then Raya makes an unbelievable save, and probably, when you look at it on the TV, yeah, you should save it. But when you're watching it real, that was with some pace, and we've seen goalkeeping mistakes all over these first couple of weeks. It's a proper save, you know what I mean? Like, no worrying about if he can pass with his feet and everything like that. Proper save. We were at the time that you needed it, and from that moment on, Arsenal were there. And I don't care what anybody says. You can play all the best football in the world or not play the best football in the world. Sometimes you need something like a set piece, and that was the thing that got us on the way. But we got the set piece from a decent bit of football, playing some good stuff and got worked a corner, which people don't think, set piece again. But you have to get the corner in the first place, which we worked. And then once we got the goal, and then the Saka goal just took the pressure off a little bit. Gets into the second half, and then, well, can it get any better? Yeah, it can. Ødegaard scores an unbelievable goal, and the place then is on fire. And then you have the Saka injury, and I don't care what anybody says. I'm a little bit down about it, boys, because, we go to Liverpool next week. And that's that. You want your best players available. You want all of those players that were there yesterday available, because the options that Arteta has now are incredible. Madueke, by the way, when he went onto the right hand side, looked really, really good. So the pressure, because of the Eze signing, took a little bit of pressure off him yesterday, so he could enjoy his game yesterday. Like, if he made a couple of mistakes yesterday, people weren't going to be on to him. There was a different outlook at the way you watched him play yesterday, and I thought he responded fantastically well in the second half. And then you're thinking to yourself, right, okay, it's a little bit disappointing with Saka, and it's in the back of my head. Do you know when we beat Crystal Palace 5-1, Jordan, you was there, everybody's going mad, and my feelings were, oh no, Saka's injured, and so I couldn't really enjoy it. I'm in that position again.
Same.
And then Max Dowman come on and he lifted it away from me a little bit, because I think, he can come on in the last 20, 25 minutes of games now and do what he done. I just, blown away by a kid. Do you know what? Not his skill and ability wise and all that, because all these players are all gifted. You know what I mean? That come into, but the confidence of this kid to just come on and do what he's doing, it's incredible, guys. 15 years of age. Give a left back who's been about a bit, a real torrid time. You know what I mean? I had to be at his very, very best. Now, I can tell you that now, Saka didn't do that to him. Saka did not do that. Didn't stretch him, make him dive into desperate tackles. I know it's a different game, but he's just got that little bit of X factor, Max Dowman. I have to say, very, very impressive. And gets us the penalty. And I've seen a little bit on social media, I should have let Max Dowman take the penalty. No, the penalty taker was the right person to take that penalty. 2-2 now, you know what I mean? Ødegaard. So that's what you want. You want your main gun scoring goals, boys. I don't care what anybody says. When you look at that thing now, people go, it's 2-2. No one goes, one's a penalty and all that. It's 2-2. And that's what you've got to do. So I thought everything about the game yesterday, apart from the Saka injury. And listen, we're going to miss Ødegaard if he's not fit as well, guys. I know he's not quite at it, you know what I mean? But he is an important part of the team. I
thought he was playing well yesterday, Lee, which was a controversial opinion. When I looked online, I saw everyone wasn't happy with Ødegaard, but I thought he was.
Do you know what?
I think he's slowly getting up to speed a little bit. He did some nice things, and then he goes off injured.
I intend to agree with you on that. But the thing is, there is a feeling around the ground. I don't know if you sense it, watching it or whatever, that there's a little bit of frustration about him. That the fans are getting a little bit, even one fan, mentioning no names, turned around and said, I'm glad Wanyeri's on there, and can enjoy it a little bit more. I think it's a little bit harsh on Ødegaard. I still think, he's still got a big part to play in us. And I think do you know what? He'll get better and better, or he will do, because Zubimendi again yesterday was really impressive, really, really impressive. And I'm going to say it now. My only other concern is, guys, we've got to just be a little bit careful with Gabriel, because out of the 3 players now with those big injuries, 2 of them have gone down. You know what I mean? Like Kai Havertz and now Saka. And I don't know if I think his performance yesterday may have gone under the radar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody goes on about Saliba, but I just think like he's a proper centre half. He really is. Like, you know what I mean? Puts his body on the line. Him and Saliba were brilliant yesterday, and it was a good day all round.
Yeah, it's quite a good analysis. We can wrap up the show.
Thank you.
Can I just rattle through some very quickly some points from the game as well? There's 3 key things that this season, guys, I'm looking for from Arsenal that I think can win us the title. First thing is evolution of Mikel Arteta. I think he's got to grow as a manager this season. Second thing is our home form and our home record. Our home record in the recent years has been really good, but I still don't feel like the Emirates is a fortress. I think we dropped too many cheap points at home. I don't feel like, for all the wins we get at the Emirates, I don't feel like it's the grounds where you don't want to go. But the third thing is, and we did it yesterday, and I've been banging on about this as well, it's not playing brilliant, but swatting teams away. And these are the games where I kind of agree with Lee. For the first half an hour at least, I don't think we were good. We created nothing. We didn't actually, can you in the first half think of chances we actually created? For all the possession we had, it didn't create anything. There was I can't think of what we created.
It felt like last season, 30 minutes, and then they have the first chance.
Exactly, it did, and I don't want to put a downer on what was a really good day, but the reality is we scored 5 goals, and Lee mentioned the Crystal Palace game last year, and it's the same. We won the game 5-1, but I don't think we were that good. And everyone goes, "Oh, what are you talking about? We got 1-5-0," and it's like we've got to look at the long term. So for me, we're still not creating enough chances. So my third point was going to be that we actually didn't play that well, but yet still slapped a team 5-0. We need to do more of that. It wasn't a 1-0 where it was nervy last 5 minutes. The game was over pretty much after an hour. That was really positive for me. Second thing, I'm not really comfortable with a child playing men's football. I know I'm in the minority as usual with that one, but his family are, the club are doing it. That debate's to be parked. He's playing, he's in the squad, fine. I don't like it, but it is what it is now. But he was brilliant. He was really, really good. He was lively on the ball. I'm surprised he's got a game this early, but the fact the game was pretty much over and Mikel Arteta thought, yeah, let's give you some time. It's a low risk, and wins a penalty says a lot about the kid. We've got to manage that. Again, I agree with Lee. These injuries, I'm not worried, but it's not great. Kai Havertz, I think, is going to be a miss. Saka is going to be a huge miss. We'll get to Liverpool in the next pod, but I'm still confident we'll go there and get a result. But that's what it is. But the injuries are a slight concern, but they're countered by the fact that this is the whole reason you bring in Madueke. This is the whole reason that you bring in Eze. This is the whole reason you have a squad, because you know at some point during the season you are going to get injuries. For as good as Madueke was when he switched wings, he was terrible on the left.
Yeah,
he was terrible on the left. He didn't do anything. Didn't really beat his man. I think got one cross in. That I've seen enough from him on the left already to suggest. I know it's game 2. I know it's only game 2, but he was not effective on the left at all. And I'm being fair, because if that was a flirter, I'll be saying the exact same thing. He was not good on the left. So we need to try and not make that happen ever again. And David Raya. I think that Saka's our best player in the squad, but David Raya is fast becoming our most important player, because if Leeds do score from that corner and it's 1-0, look, I still think we win the game. But you're in a fight in a game where I don't think you want to be exerting yourself to 100% in a home game against Leeds United, with all due respect. Champions don't get into fights with Leeds United at home on game 2. So that was a really important save at a time, and I don't think it was really knocking on the door too much. So I think overall it was a really, really good day. But there are still things to work on. But I caveat that with this game 2. It's game 2. So I'm not going to lose my head on this one. But I still don't think we're creating enough chances. And I thought that actually when Ødegaard, I don't think Ødegaard was that good. I disagree with James slightly. I think he was okay. Ødegaard from last season. I thought Ranieri wasn't any better, if I'm being honest. But I don't think Ødegaard was particularly good. And he's running out of time. the clock's ticking. Because now we've got competition. The clock is ticking on his performances. He's got to his output. His work rate is great, but his output in terms of creatively, I just feel has to be better for him to warrant a place in this team long term.
I mean, the best thing that happened all day was the long sleeve home shirt. If we're being really honest, that's my takeaway, my analysis. Great shirt. I bought it short sleeve. I got it wrong.
Just a heads up to the viewers, the community, the audience. James has checked in his last couple.
Oh no, I've not paid you. Sorry, I've not paid him yet. I've got to pay you. Sorry.
You did that with me as well.
Sorry,
I had to borrow money from my mum, Jordan.
Shut up. I'll spend it tomorrow. I promise.
I said, Mum, I'm sorry. He's not sent me the money yet. Could you help me? And she said, I never liked him anyway. I'm glad he's seeing all my abusive comments.
You're talking about big YouTuber, 100K. You're coining it in, man. You're nice.
It's actually only 50K.
Sorry, 50K.
Don't worry.
Hey, some ain't got 50K, so don't say just 50K, okay?
No, I know. It's just, it's. I know it hurt. It burns, Lee.
He's smart straight away.
Yeah, the old community ain't helped me out really, like, you know what I mean?
I don't want him to think I've run away with it, Turkish, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you. But you know what? Like, I echo everyone's thoughts so far, Lee and Jordan. First 30 minutes. So many times last season, the first 10 minutes, it looks good. We got the ball, we're moving it quick, and we're getting into positions of threat, but those positions never materialized to any real threat. Gyökeres stinker, winning the ball back. I think it was Zubimendi, and then he looks like he's got a chance just to toe poke one home, just to kick off his.
No, that was harsh. I thought people were being harsh on that one.
Yeah,
she should.
I thought he was discombobulated. I think he forgot where he was. He's reacted. He snatched at it. But I thought people were being a little bit harsh,
brother. For 200K, know where you are, brother, because you're in the box.
No, I thought
his body, he was en route at the box. It comes back in, so his body was just a bit all over the gaff. But yeah, it was like a fish out of water when he
it didn't look good. But I thought people were being a little bit harsh on that one.
Mate, not one of these. And then straight after that, Madueke had a stinker as well. Yeah, he cut in. And he should have put it on a plate for Gyökeres, and instead he put it in a bowl and in the mixer, and it just didn't materialize. I was like, what? Back-to-back stinkers, new signings. I thought
that was bad.
This 30 minutes is one to forget. Then Streak has that header. Raya has to make the save. I thought typical. Then you start thinking, how many saves has the Leeds keeper made? None. Okay, and it starts reminding you of last season. But that Timber goal was big. Not only the corner was sweet, and
great header.
The header was a very good header.
Great header.
Bottom corner, he absolutely buried it. Buried it. So we needed that. But it was also typical that's how the game opens up, because, we get a set piece goal. Then obviously the Ødegaard shoulder stuff started happening. I kind of disagree with a couple of you. I think Ranieri came on and we played better. And I think he was part of especially the second goal. If you look back at the second goal and the move just before the move for the goal, it was Ranieri's intent and direct nature. He picked up the ball, he laid it into Zubi, he moved it, he collected the next pass. I think he tried another little one too. It didn't work out, but from there, that's where Declan or Zubi won it, played it into Timber, who then obviously played the ball round the outside to Saka, who finished it well. So I think we won the game in the last 15 of the first half and the first 15 of the second half, because the last 30 minutes of the game was the Max Dowman show. Aside from that, we wasn't really testing the waters. We was kind of subdued. We was seeing the game out. But every once in a while going long to find Max, who every single time he needed to take the ball down, he took the ball down. 9.5 out of 10 touches he was taking was perfect touches. So yeah, then the Dowman cameo, perfect. We're winning the game comfortably at home. He comes on, gets some minutes. And it is a balance, because when you've got a talent like this, and this is coming from someone who said don't rely upon him this year, I still agree with that sentiment. But you've also got to make sure that pathway is clear for him, because, there are teams out there that will sniff around. There are teams out there that I'm sure will be looking at the situation. And if he gets a minute less than he's happy with over the season, I'm sure they'll be knocking on the door. He's so young at the moment. He hasn't signed a pro contract yet either. And I know the sentiment is he will, and the rumors are strong that he's happy, and I believe that too. But we've got to make sure that these kind of games, like last season, there was games against Leicester and Southampton back to back when Ødegaard was injured, and I really wanted Ranieri to play in those games because I said these are the newly promoted sides. Ødegaard's out, we might as well try something a bit different and give him the chance here, and we never did. Now I get it on one hand, but I think that's also a learning curve for Mikel this season, where Leeds home, comfortable, bring on Max Dowman. In between those 30 minutes, the starting 30 and the last 30, we did everything we needed to do. That Saka goal was, before I get into the Gyökeres goal, that Saka goal was brilliant. I know he's done it a few times, but that right-footed finish, roof of the net, yeah, beautiful goal. But Gyökeres' goal,
yeah,
every time I watch that goal back, it gets even better because that first touch he takes, not many people talk about it, but that first touch he takes on the bounce, many players would wait for the second bounce because it's a difficult touch.
Yeah.
But he's so adamant to, prove himself, and through his words, you can see this, and his actions, and even what Mikel says, that he's in space, he takes it down straight at the defenders. And at one point, it looked like a clunky touch, but he followed the clunky touch with a neat touch that took it away from the other defender. And then, lo and behold, he's in space. And the best bit about it was the finish, because he's in the box, crowded, 4 or 5 men around him. And instead of just lashing it home, which many strikers do, and if it hits the back of the net, hits the back of the net, he placed it bottom corner. And I think in those moments when you have a striker like that can just, take himself out of the pressure cooker situation and just put it where it needs to be put, I think it's a very good sign.
Do you know what, Turkish? I'm so glad you've given that goal that analysis, because you're bang on. There's a good and a bad bit to that goal. Well, there's a good and good bit, but the bit where he's pulled wide and got the ball was something that I've been saying to some friends of mine. Is something that I don't want to see him do. Him going to the channels is something that I've been saying to a few people. I want him just to be in the box. Occupy defenders, be in the box, just get those box goals, right? But this was an example. And if you look at his goals at Sporting, a lot of his goals do come from him pulling wide, running up man, bulldozing through man, and scoring. I've just got question marks about whether that can be sustainable in this league. I don't think you can just bulldoze through Premier League defenders on a regular basis. But he did it, and he scored a brilliant goal. The bit that's even better about that is it was a guy that I think was selfish. This was a guy that looked like, I'm scoring this goal. I'm not passing it. I'm not teeing it up. I'm not putting anyone through. I'm going through. I'm gonna cut in. I'm gonna cut in on my right foot, and I'm getting a shot off. And if this goes wide or in the goal, I don't care.
Sorry, guys, carry on. I'm dealing with a spider that's hanging above my laptop. You carry on.
Oh, yeah, you sort that out, and then I'll just crack on. It was a striker that was saying, I'm here to just score this goal. Or not even score a goal. I'm getting a shot off. How many times have we seen Ødegaard make that same run, cut in, not shoot, and before you know it, he's on the other side. And do you know what I mean? No. He's like, no, I'm getting a shot off.
Most of
I think that's definitely encouraging from our striker, that I'm here to shoot. I'm here to shoot, and I'm from in and around the box. Don't expect to pass. Don't expect me to pass the ball. I'm getting a shot off, and that I think is a really positive thing from him. That epitomized that goal.
Especially from that side, in my opinion, as well. Since we're on it, because we see that often from the right hand side, because we've got Saka, and we've got Ødegaard, who, albeit it's in a poor vein of form, a long term now. But we've seen players cutting from the right-hand side onto their left foot and either putting a cross or get a shot off. Saka in particular getting a few goals like that. We haven't seen it from the right like that. Especially look at Martinelli's form over the last couple of years. I can't remember the last time he really did that. And Trossard's not really that type of winger to be doing that. So that was also refreshing to see. On social media, we're all on social media. We often see that Lookman goal. Was it in the final? The Europa League, you see the Lookman goal where the question lightheartedly says, "Where's the overlapping run?" Because there wasn't one. Because Lookman just takes the ball inside and gets the shot off and scores. And that question is because of the excuses made for Martinelli sometimes about a lack of overlapping run. Gyökeres had nothing there. He had the goal in sight and he just went for it. And before I forget, because it can't be forgotten, Calafiori, that pass, underrated, because it was just instinctive out of nowhere. He knew where he needed to put it more so than find the player, because that is the sort of connections we need to start building with Gyökeres, because the sort of runs he makes, you're not going to see it every time, but you need to believe he's making that run. That's what Ødegaard needs to believe. Ranieri, the players around him, because he is that type of striker. And Calafiori delivered over the top into space, and he's got 2 GA in the first 2 games as well from that left back spot. So he started the season well, and the penalty. Listen, it's 4-0. People might say there's no pressure on it. There was immense pressure on that penalty because he comes in with such a great record, and because we don't have a great record in the biggest of games for penalties, whether it's West Ham 22-23 season or Man United FA Cup last season. We've missed big penalties over the last 3 years. It's nice that he scored number one, but the way he done it, no stuttering, no deception. He just put the ball down and buried it, bottom corner. Even if the keeper went that side, it's going into the back of the net. So as much as, 4-0 up, less pressure than usual, it's his first penalty for Arsenal Football Club. And the way fans love Saka, the way fans love Ødegaard, for him to take the penalties off them, he had to have hit the ground running with them. So, and like Lee said, 2-2 sounds better than 1-2. So I'm glad he got that chance as well. Big up Diamond for that as well. Just before winning the penalty, he won a free kick on that side too. I mean, he's doing his thing. But long may it continue that we don't rely on him, but we're just touching on him throughout the season in moments like that.
I think Gyökeres is a hilarious footballer, I have to say. In so many ways, like, I don't know how to describe him. I love him, guys. I don't know. I know. It sounds really weird. It's just, he comes in, he's got his celebration that we're all doing. He wants the 14 shirt. He's kind of going to war with Sporting over getting the move. He gets his move. When I watch him, his all-round play, like, and I'm sorry, like, there is something. And I'm talking the finishing, because he's clearly very technical as a finisher. And I thought he showed a lot of tech on that goal. You rightly mentioned his first touch. But his kind of hold up and the things you associate with like an all-round striker these days, there's quite a bit lacking. But he runs the channels. He works ferociously hard. Like, he is constantly just sprinting back at players, trying to win the ball. He's constantly on defenders. They don't get a second to breathe. And he just knows how to put the ball in the back of the net. And when Calafiori played that ball over the top, which, by the way, I think there's a few opportunities in the first half to play that ball quicker. So I wonder whether there was instruction at half time. Like, look, Victor's making the runs, find him. But once that ball was played, I need to watch it back. I don't know if Gyökeres even looked up. He just ran at goal. He just ran into the position through 2 players. And that's where he shows a lot of technique. The first touch, as you mentioned, but also really good, deft little touches to take it away from oncoming players, because he powers through, because the way he moves, he looks like he's just kind of, steamrolled his way through, but there's a lot of really lovely touches before a brilliant finish. And then he does his celebration, and then he scores his penalty, and he's like, doing the hair flick thing, or whatever. Clearly he's seen what's happened online. And I think he almost uses all this to fuel him. Yeah. I want the 14 shirt, This is the expectation. Oh, you think I flipped my hair? All right, well, let's make some fun of it. It's almost like he takes everything quite personally. I quite like it. And he just runs around like a maniac, just trying to just smash into people and score goals. Like, there's something very efficient about him. And I really like it.
Efficient, so before Lee comes back in, he's not good to look at, though. Like,
this is what I mean. Like, he's not
good to watch. Like, when he runs like a donkey. You know what I mean? He's powerful, he's strong, and he's a no. I'm sorry. That sounds really mean, but I just mean some players. when somebody's run with the ball,
he's a Spurs fan. He's liking you, Jordan. You're an absolute scumbag. You are.
Jordan, there's no guile, is there? He's not gliding across the pitch, but that's fine. We have a lot of that.
He just looks like he's galloping and just like, he's so big and wide.
He ain't even fit yet, boys. He's not even fit.
No, but I think even when he is fit, I just think the size of him.
I'm going to say it now, putting my neck on the line here. Those little touches and all things like that is because he's not quite sharp enough yet. Once he gets sharper,
the touches were good though.
I think I'm talking about the one night when Zubimendi tackled it and then he looks a little bit.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'll tell you what, I've been really impressed with him. He's got pace. He's got pace.
He has
I really do, like, you know. And I don't think he's nowhere near fit enough yet. I don't think he's nowhere near. I think that if you have a look at the way he holds up players and everything like that, with the way he backs in, he's a proper centre forward. The touch not at times is quite good because he's not quite sharp enough. And I'll tell you this now, I want to see him do those runs because do you know what they are? They're old school, old-fashioned centre-forward runs that you don't see no more, like, you know what I mean? All this tippy-tappy stuff. One ball over the top, work the channel. There used to be a saying in football, like, work the channel. As a forward, you had to work the channel, like, you know. And that's what he does. And you get goals from that. You know what I mean? When you're working the channel, the one thing that doesn't change or doesn't move is the goalposts. They're still where they. So if you're working the channel, you know exactly where the channel is. You work it, you know exactly where the goal is. It's old centre forward, old-fashioned play. Alan Shearer, like, got loads of goals like that, like, you know. And I think football, because of this way it's changed and all that, you know, everybody goes out. I'm telling you, I think he's going to be the real deal. I think his hold-up play is going to get better. I think that it's something that we need. I love the way he pins central defenders down, pins them. You know what I mean? Like, so they can't get the ball. The ball at the moment is just knocking off him a little bit. But I do think that once he gets sharp, don't forget, boys, he's still 2 weeks off of everybody else, and that's going to take a little bit of time to catch up. And 2-2.
And tactically, I think.
Well, Lee. Sorry.
Tactically, I think that if this whole new system of playing transition starts clicking a bit better, the runners off him are important because, like you said, a few of the balls into him might bounce off him a little bit. But when you have runners off you and it's more instinctive and it's more of your first touch as a layoff than it is to control the ball, it can become easier. You don't have to be the most technical player in the world just to lay it off to someone. You know, we've even seen Havertz do that quite often. In pre-season, there was that little back heel to Martinelli. I think, you know, when you have runners off you and it's consistent, I think he's the perfect striker. I disagree with Jordan in terms of aesthetically. I loved that first goal. I haven't seen that from an Arsenal striker since Aubameyang. I haven't seen that from an Arsenal, and they're different types of strikers, but that's the striker I love.
Just to be clear, sorry, the goal, as James used the right word, the goal's effective and he's efficient with what he does. I'm not criticizing that. Like, if he can bulldoze through people, running the channels and cutting in and scoring goals, I'm not against that. But we can't pretend like he's not graceful to look at. He doesn't glide with the ball. He's cumbersome.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a beautiful, elegant player on the ball.
I'm with you, but I just think that the tweaks tactically will help a lot in terms of aesthetically how he looks, because maybe. Right now we're looking at him playing between the way we used to play and the way we're trying to play. But once we start flowing a bit better and he's at the end of those moves just banging it into the back of the net, he's going to look a lot better aesthetically, because he's just a guy in and around the box that puts that cut back into the bottom corner or rifles that ball home from a fast counter attack. I think that's when that profile of striker looks better. I mean, I always say Haaland looked better at Dortmund than he did at City. Looks are different to productivity, though, because at City he broke records and this is a much tougher league. But aesthetically at Dortmund, the faster transition, the quicker movement of the ball, he was flying. He looked a completely different player to the robotic title he has over here. So I think the style of play matters for that profile of striker, in my opinion.
And I think that's important to remember. So I agree with everything you said there, and I think Lee made a similar point. But I think it's important to remember that that's probably true a little bit of our attacking football in general. When you look at the front six yesterday, we had 3 new signings in Zubimendi, Madueke and Gyökeres, and there's only a 4th coming in Eze to add to that. You could even argue then with embedding in players like Dauman, who is new to the team, though he's not a signing. So that, to a degree, like, it was great to see that Calafiori pass, because you're right, it's a very underrated pass, and he did it knowing that Gyökeres was going to make the run. But it is almost I'm going to do it because I trust the player, and that takes time to build. I was watching that first half, and I think you can be fluid and not creative, and I think that's what Arsenal were. I saw Zubimendi at times high, I saw Ødegaard a bit deeper, I saw Rice in build-up. Sometimes Rice was between the centre-backs, so Zubi could move. Arsenal, Madueke was on the inside, then he was on the outside. Calafiori was in the high left 8, and then he was overlapping. So Arsenal were fluid. They were trying to do lots of different things. It just wasn't working. And that's almost a similar takeaway to Man United. I could see what we were trying to do, which wasn't working. I'm hoping Arteta's a good enough coach, and I believe he is, that this will all click and it will gel. It's just taking time because we're betting in a lot of new players and a lot of new ideas. It's hard enough to bed one of them. We're now trying to bed the two at once. So if you do it with 6 goals, 6 points, 2 clean sheets, ahead of Anfield and your star signing getting 2 goals, then that's probably quite a good position to be in.
Yeah. And from good position to the dark cloud in the room, in the air. And that's the Saka hamstring injury. The Ødegaard one, we expect, we hope, we pray that it's a lot sooner expectation-wise than what we saw of Saka, even though none of us are medical experts. I think we all assume that the way Saka went off, he won't be available for Liverpool. Anyone worried about, the injury? I mean, is it relatable to the previous injuries they've had, and is this part of the comeback, or is it a longer term issue in anyone's mind?
He's got an issue with him, hasn't he? So it's not he had this sort of issue with his right. Is it his right one? Do you remember the England game very early in the last season? I think it was in the international break. Might have been in even the September international break. Comes back, and then he's had to have it surgery on it later on in the season. I think now for me, if they say it's 3 weeks, I'm saying right, 6 weeks. Make sure it's better. No rushing him back. I felt maybe we rushed him back a little bit last season after that international. No need to rush him back now. I don't expect to see him for 6 weeks.
Minimum. I have to say, I've been hearing a lot of, and I think I've probably said it myself. No excuses for Arteta this year, and fine. You still need your players fit. And Saka's your best player. I think there's a difference between, Martinelli can't play, so Trossard comes in. Madueke misses a couple of weeks and Martinelli gets a run. Or I don't know, even White. No, sorry, not White, because I'm a big fan of White. I'm trying to think of another player. But my point is, Bukayo Saka, Martin Ødegaard, Kai Havertz and Ben White are all injured by the end of game week 2. I know this is why you have a squad, but come on, these are key players for Mikel Arteta. Whatever we think, right? Whether you think Timber's better than White, whether you think Kai Havertz was a waste of money, whether you think Martin Ødegaard was ultimately going to lose his place to Eze, these are important players to Mikel Arteta, and that's 4 out by the end of game week 2. It's infuriating, and I want to compete on all fronts. So we need a squad for that alone, let alone to give our best in the Premier League. And Bukayo Saka is, in my opinion, our best player. Then there's a lot in it with Rice, Gabriel, Saliba, but I think he's our best player. And we're going to have to go to Anfield without him. I don't know. It's infuriating. How many players in our squad have that finish that he displayed against Leeds? And it might be a little moment like that against Liverpool. It might be a little kind of, there's not a lot in it. Tough game away at Anfield. And there's a moment that Bukayo Saka pulls out like he did at the Bernabeu.
Which was like against Liverpool last season. It was a pretty similar goal, right? Yeah.
The other worry is, James, I don't think
we need our main players fit.
Last couple of games, I don't think he's as sharp as what he was in previous years. He looks a little bit.
See, I disagree with this, Lee. I keep hearing this. I thought he looked good in pre-season.
No. I think
he looked good against Leeds.
I think he might have just lost a little bit of not speed, a little confidence in his
burst.
Yeah, a little confidence in his bird, which can happen like when you've got an hamstring injury. So he's not, so getting another one like that now just knocks his confidence again to go when he does get back.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I do think that there is that and I think that's a big worry now. I've played with players that were quick and have had hamstring injuries and been dogged by it. You know what I mean? Like we can go back to someone like Michael Owen that was there. It is a concern because you have that thing of right. I don't know, like I know you can go about Gyökeres yesterday. He's bursting around doing that because he's not got that in his back of his head. Like you know what I mean? Like I think that there is that little thing now with Saka. Like I've got to be a little bit wary of. Because I might break down and all that, like so. I think it's important now because I'm with you, James. He is our best player, but we've got to. Maybe in times we have rushed him back because we've not had a big enough squad now. Like we've got that now. So for me, please don't rush him back. Just take your time with him. And as I say,
Lee, do you think they've tactically prepared for that a little bit? Because I don't think Saka's been tracking back as much. And you could say that's to leave our better players up the pitch, so we're better in transition. But also, it's like it feels like he's not being asked to work back as much, almost to take the load off him.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of that as well. Like I just think that I'm always worried that one, when you've had surgery, is a big thing. Like you know what I mean, whatever you have. Like secondly, like the hamstring injury is one of those injuries that you even if you have that injury. Even if you know it's all right, you're still it might go again. It might go again, like and then you play 4, 5, 6, 7 games later, and then your head's clear of it. But he's at a stage where he's just come back from it. He's not clear from it, and it's not. Thankfully, it's not the same one, but it's the other one now, like And one big worry is now is that they rush him back, and it goes again. He has to have surgery on it again, and whatever goes, and like it's no coincidence Kai Havertz has gone down as well after this big injury as well, like So, did Kai get rushed back a little bit too quick at the back of last season because we didn't have no one? Like I don't know, So what I'm saying is now is get all of those things out of him, like And I don't know as a fan, I'm going to say as a fan there, every time he sprints, I'm a little bit. I hope he's in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I hope he don't get an hamstring injury or whatever. Like, I'm a little bit in that myself. So if I'm like that, maybe he's like that as well. Like, So it's something that we've got to just. I do worry about it, like because it's been like probably about a year now. He's being dogged with these hamstring injuries.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope he's all right, man. I hope he's all right.
We'll wait for updates. Go on, Jordan.
Sorry, just briefly, it's like concern, but my take on it is in the context of Liverpool, a front four of Gyökeres, Madueke, Ødegaard, and Eze should still get something from Anfield. So he's our best player, and obviously you want your single best player in your squad to go to the league champions. You spent 55 mil on a Saka backup. Now you can't have 2 Sakas in your team, obviously, but you spent that money on a guy to deputise for these moments. So this is the time now I'm looking for Madueke to deliver. I'm not asking him to be Saka, but a front four of Madueke, Eze, Ødegaard, and Gyökeres. I'm sorry that I'm not going to give them a pass because Saka's out. That's not the drop in quality isn't so much that I'm like, oh, Saka not being there means, how can you get anything at Anfield?
But I think this is testament to the squad at our disposal now that we haven't moved on to it. We're talking about the injury in isolation. I could only speak for myself, but in years gone past, and I mean every year gone past, something like that on Saka makes me think, yeah, Anfield, it's not happening. But I didn't feel like that yesterday.
Nor did I.
But I still feel like there's something to take from Anfield because we've got a much better squad capable of, dealing with a situation like this.
And I'm sorry, in year 6, it should be. We shouldn't be feeling like a key player's out. Oh, we can't get anything at Anfield. I'm sorry. You've been building a squad for 6 years. Your attack. You've bought attackers: Vieira, Gyökeres, Havertz, Eze, Madueke, Trossard. You've brought in all these players over your tenure, and we're still lacking firepower going into Anfield in year 5 or years. I'm sorry. There's no excuses. So I take James's point to a degree about needing your best players over the course of a season to win a title. But if we look at this game in isolation, there's no passes. I'm sorry. I'm not giving you a pass.
Yeah, for a game in isolation, I agree with you, because other teams will pick up points at Anfield and they don't have Bukayo Saka in their team. So I agree with you. I'm very much talking about competing on all fronts and winning the title. You need your best players, and it's just, if he is to do another 3-4 months out, that's such a blow for us. If it's 6-7 weeks, this is why you have a squad, to go, all right, well, that's really annoying. Let's not rush him back. You got Madueke, you got Wanaheri, you got Dowman. And by the way, what a great debate that's going to be. Come Anfield, there's a real question about, would you chuck Eze straight in the 10 and then move Wanaheri to the right? Or would you get Eze on the left long term, where he's probably going to be, Wanaheri in that position, and trust a Madueke? You could actually start those 3 players and interchange throughout the game to see what's suiting. So these are the problems we'll do in the next podcast.
I think Ødegaard will be fit. I think he'll play on Sunday.
Well, we'll fight.
But yeah, I'll take your point now.
We got the next pod, and we'll have an update on Ødegaard by then, hopefully, because that'll be around Thursday. I know the press conferences usually come out on Friday, but hopefully the in-the-knows do what they will try and do all summer and feed us reliable information. Whether it's reliable or not, I mean, that's another story. But keep your finger to the pulse, James, over there on social media.
You're too funny, man. They'll do what they're trying to do. Speaking of Arsenal, David Ornstein has said, I've reached an agreement for Shamrock Rovers 16-year-old Victor Otsianvuna.
Great.
So we've signed a 16-year-old midfielder. There we go. To join Arsenal on pre-contract and arrive in January 2027. So we won't see him for 18 months.
I think he reported that about 6 months ago. I don't know anything about the guy, but he was reporting that a few months back. So he must be a hot prospect. So yeah, see you in 2 years.
See you in 2 years. I know nothing on the player, so let's find out. But there we go. Preparing for. Can I say, all jokes aside, if there's young talents out there, please go get them. Arsenal should be doing that. So yeah, I mean, if he's great, then brilliant. I don't know anything on the player, but if he's good, great.
Heads up, we need it in focus in 18 months. So get that in your diary.
No worries, bro. I'm on it right now.
Gooniverse free. It'll be Gooniverse free by then.
Don't be part. I might actually have to react to this on Gooniverse News. So everyone go subscribe.
There you go, people. Go subscribe. Gooniverse 2, Lee Judges TV, road to 50k. Make it happen, people, because he's not been the same since he's appealed for the 50k, and he still hasn't hit it. He's just looking down all the time when we're talking.
No, I'm not very disappointed with the community, like, you know what I mean? They've let me down, like, you know.
Yeah, man. We can't be letting Lee Judges down. The OG. And obviously, whisper it loudly, world's coolest disabled Turkish LD and the big panels, people. If you didn't know, now you know. But
I'll take 10k. You know what I mean? Just 10k will be fine. Road to 10k for me.
There you go. Road to 10 first and then 10k. But yeah, we'll get that in there, people. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed, and make sure you leave your comments for comments of the day, because we're going to get into that shortly. Before we do, here's an update on the prediction table. Not much of an update. Everyone got a point. Everyone predicted a win. No one went 4-0. I went 4-1, then changed it to 3-1. But yeah, either or, still 1 point.
I'm pulling away, lads. Don't let me pull away.
That's what he calls it, pulling away. Level on points. No goal difference yet. But yeah. For audio listeners, Jordan is top on 2 points. He's top because his name begins with J. Lee's second on 2 points. I'm in third on 2 points. You can guess how that works itself out. And then James is on 1 point, following his incorrect result in game week 1.
Yeah.
Let me get that out of the way. Comments of the day. Are we ready?
Proper title race.
I've got a couple.
You got a couple. All right. Let's go, Lee. You kick us off.
I will, though. The reason Jordan is hated most.
Oh, here we go.
And also within the podcast is because he has a good set of hair. Unlike Baldy, half Baldy, and soon to be Baldy.
It's a fair point.
I mean, to be honest with you, I might have the longest hair on the show now.
Yeah, I think you do actually.
Yeah, he does.
There's a few hats, you know what I mean? So
I've just got stocked in the hat market, so I can't really let it go, man. Yeah.
But I like how that's the reason no one likes me. You know what I mean? It's not because I talk rubbish. It's because I got
it's got a full set of hair. I think I can relate to that. I don't like people with. I hate people with long hair. Can't stand them. Like
Jordan, the hate has never been because of your football takes.
No, this is what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
It's mainly because no one's actually listening to your takes, but it's not because of. I promise you, it's not because of your takes.
And the other one that I've got is Lee crying about Havertz's injury. I was not crying about that Havertz's injury. Like, I'm disappointed he's injured, like I am with Saka. Like, I don't like to see our players being injured. I don't like it. Like, relax, man. He'll be back soon. At least pretend to be happy about the Eze signing. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I'm delighted with the Eze sign. Perhaps not as excited as Jordan. You know what I mean? But I am excited about it.
You struggle to find someone more excited. He might actually pause Griselda now as he's actually playing.
Listen, all the content
games.
I have now. All the content that's come out in the last 24 hours about Eze, I've been sharing it, retweeting it, posting it. I'm loving it. Honestly, I'm so excited. This is why I support Arsenal. I'm so excited, man. When he wears the number 10 on Sunday, hopefully he starts. Oh man, I'm gassed. I might put some money on him to score at Anfield. I'm gassed. I'm so excited, man. We got a good one there. We got a good one.
And just finally, quickly, a big up to Ben, who's a big follower of the show. Like, so many people out there again for the love of the podcast is unbelievable. But Ben and his dad, I spoke to them yesterday, so big up to them.
Big up Ben, big up Dad, big up all the love, because Lee did say there was a lot of love for the Fourever Arsenal podcast at the game. First home game of the season, obviously, and we all, received comments. Sometimes personally, sometimes just shouted at from across the road in our everyday lives.
Yeah, but beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful.
The love is appreciated, people. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed. Anyone else got? I've got a comment of the day here. From Dale. My one's from Dale. Bitterly disappointed with today's pod. I like to hit the gym while listening to Fourever Arsenal. Reason being, Jordan's takes usually fill me with great rage that I can channel into my workout.
Come on, my G.
I was fully expecting him to throw some wild take on how Eze is a poor signing, but he was actually based today in his takes. Please revert back to type, Jordan. Love.
Don't worry, bro. This excitement will wear off in a couple of weeks. I'll be back to normal. But for now, it's all smiles over here, bro. It's all smiles. All good vibes.
Fresh trim and smiles.
Fresh trim and smiles, brother.
It's a new season.
I got this from Mr. Wavy, who I think I read out a negative comment.
I've got this one. I had that one as well.
Yeah. James, thanks for the shout out. You're a certified G from now on, bro.
Well done, bro. You made it.
That's all it takes. Thank you. I'm glad we're friends again.
OG's got a new member, me, Curtis, and James Bayless, Gooniverse. He's joining up.
Perfect. I'm there.
Go on, Jordan.
I've just got a couple. This is the first time I will see the trio of Turkish, Lee, and Jordan all open the show with wide teeth smiling. It's probably true, actually. We are probably the most miserable three, and we were all smiling on the opening of the last pod. And then another one, similar post. The show of full teeth, smiling all over the place, and it's got love teeth. Oops, I mean love it. People were very, very happy with us being happy, which is good. Makes me happy. I'm very happy. It's good being happy. I like to be happy.
Yeah, amongst other things.
People.
Yeah, people. We are well and truly back in the full flow of the new season. And yes, as I say that,
sorry, Turkish, bro. There was a couple of messages in the comments of the last pod. People were asking for the Fourever Arsenal Fantasy League code, which is going very well, by the way. Just for those listening and watching, it's J37TMD. J37TMD. I did post it in the last 2 episodes in the comments. I'll post it one more time, but I'll say it one more time. J37TMD. Join the Fourever Arsenal Fantasy League and join in on the fun.
Sounds like one of them people, in occasions when they want someone to move their car. Can the J37 TMD please move their car? It's blocking the way.
James might get involved with that now. Now we're at last man standing.
Yeah, you two get involved, man.
Come on, man.
Get involved. Free to play, like William Hill's final one standing, people. As we wrap it up, make sure you scan the QR code, click the links in the description. You can still take part. If you're still in it from game week 1, you're still in with a chance to win 500k like me and Jordan. If you're out, like James and Lee, on to the next one. We'll be back for the next pod this Thursday, and we'll make our predictions for the Liverpool game. Me and Jordan will make our predictions for the next final one standing selection. And yeah, James and Lee will offer their advice and kind words and luck along the way. Right?
Absolutely.
No, I don't want it now. No. You both turned it down.
I'll be honest now. You've both chosen Arsenal. I hope you both go out next round. There, I'll say it like that.
There you go.
I actually said to Turkish, I want you to go through because it was Arsenal. Otherwise, I want you out.
Love for the love, as I say. James, Lee, Jordan, pleasure as always. We passed the hour, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Like I said, people will be back for a bite size forever later this week. I say bite size, it's a Liverpool game, so yeah. Might not be big game. It's a big game. We'll see how the news goes with Saka and Ødegaard, and we'll be back again to talk Liverpool Anfield before the international break. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the like button. Individual channels, I've gone through them already. Rewind if you need to. William Hill, final one standing in collaboration with Fourever Arsenal. On that note, people, love for the love. Hit the like button. We'll be back when we're back. Peace.